안녕하십니까. 동탄 왕코입니다. 야간 2일차 끝났어요. 어제 이렇게 안 피곤했는데, 둘째 날 되니까, 새벽에 죽을 뻔했어. 졸려가지고, 씨. 오늘 운동 너무 하기 싫은데. 너무 하기 싫어. 너무 하기 싫지만, 오늘은 수요일 분리수거를 벌이는 날이에요. 아. 일단 스트레칭 좀 하고 해야겠습니다. 스트레칭 좀 하고 스쿼트를 해야 되나? 이렇게 추워 또. 일단 CNN을 보겠습니다.
As much social distance as they can as they're waiting here in line, but also some systemic problems here in the Chicago area with voting in the primary today. A number of people I spoke with in this line said they went to their normal precinct locations earlier today to try to vote. Some people found them closed because election judges didn't show up or they didn't have the equipment they needed to allow people to vote. So they came here. This is a voting site that accepts people from all over the area. And so some voting problems here as well in Chicago in light of the coronavirus epidemic contributing to what we're seeing today, Wolf.
You know, and I just asked Rebecca the same question to Layla, who's down in Florida. Do they have wipes, sanitizer for the voters where you are in Chicago?
So at this particular location, they do. Inside, they have hand sanitizer. They have wipes for the voting machines. The polling workers are wearing gloves, but not everywhere is this the case. Now, in suburban Cook County, we spoke with an election judge earlier today. All of the workers there were promised by the county that they were going to have the necessary sanitary items to conduct voting today. But at that particular precinct, I was told, Wolf, they did not have hand sanitizer. They did not have wipes provided by the county. They asked the county for them, and hours went by this morning. They didn't get anything. Ultimately, it was voters who had to step up and offer their own donations of wipes and hand sanitizer so that voting could continue safely at that location. Wolf.
All right, Rebecca, thanks very much. Rebecca Buck is in Chicago, the Illinois Democratic presidential primary taking place today. Let's get back to our team over here. Kirsten, what do you think? I've covered politics for a long time. I don't remember anything like this.
Yeah, this is unbelievable. And, you know, it's fortunately in a lot of these states have older voters who do their mail-in ballots early. So
and older voters vote in much larger proportion than younger voters.
Yes, and so I think that, you know, the concern would be, I guess, if, you know, for the Biden campaign, that maybe because more older voters vote for him, that could be a concern. That said, the polls generally show Biden with pretty firm leads in all of these states. So I'm not sure how much this is actually going to impact the outcome of the election, but it is still pretty daunting, you know, when you think about it, and you think about we don't know how long this is going to go on. We don't know how many other, you know, primaries this is going to affect.
You know, Mike DeWine, the governor of Ohio, they were supposed to have a Democratic presidential primary in Ohio today. That's been put off. He's got some criticism, but he's also got some kudos for doing what he did.
You know, there's just mixed views about it. I mean, is voting much different than going to the supermarket in terms of social distance? I don't know if it's a lot different, but you also perhaps touching a surface where someone who has the virus, you know, could leave a mark. So, you know, there's different ways to look at it. There's obviously guidelines in place. You heard Tony Fauci say today, is there much of a difference between not having more than 10 people or not more than 25? That's not really what we're talking about. So what's important is taking the precautions. And, you know, to add to this surreal atmosphere is that we have an election that's playing out in the middle of what is a health crisis and an economic crisis all at the same time. And unlike with the financial collapse in 2008, where you didn't have an incumbent, right? You were at the end of President Bush's term. you have an incumbent president who knows he's being judged in real time on this. So this is a real leadership night for the Democratic Party, which is who would you like to see in the job dealing with this? Because they're going to be dealing with this or the outcome of it.
This crisis, Dan, is not going away anytime soon. But by all accounts, the former Vice President Joe Biden tweeted today he was encouraging people in Florida, Arizona, and Illinois to vote by mail or curbside if they can. It's a fine line. He'd like people to show up because he thinks he's going to do well. At the same time, he doesn't want to endanger anybody.
Absolutely, and that's what you're hearing from all campaigns, and what you're seeing just even more broadly is more of a push among Democrats who already thought voting by mail was a good idea to be more aggressive in doing that on a national scale. And those kinds of calls that we've heard before are very likely to get more traction now that we're seeing the perils in real time of what happens when people feel uncomfortable on a day that they really do want to go vote.
Yeah, normally, Kirsten, this would be such a huge story, but everything is now, relegated to the back burner because of the coronavirus.
Yeah, I mean, it is pretty amazing how quickly our world can change, right? I mean, this was coming in terms of we knew that this virus existed in other countries, but how quickly when it got here and how radically it just changed everything. As David keeps saying, it's a health crisis and it's a massive economic crisis. I mean, what's happening not just on Wall Street, but on all the people that are losing money, who rely on that money, whether you own a restaurant or you own a business where people aren't coming. There's reverberations throughout the country that are just incalculable.
And the irony, of course, in an emergency, if in a primary you're debating the role of government in our lives and in our economy, here in an emergency, it has become socialism. I mean, the government will do anything it has to do to curb the emergency. The distinctions get blurred.
And thanks to everyone here. Thanks to everyone at home. Please stay tuned. A big night tonight for the Democratic presidential candidates and for America, despite the coronavirus. The returns in Arizona, Florida, and Illinois could help determine which Democrat leads the party in the coming election. The first primary results in just a moment.
너무
Special
분리수거도 버리고
will begin
할 게 너무 많아요.
right after this.
Vin Group, Vietnam's leading conglomerate, enters a new age. Vin Pearl, where endless joy awaits at holiday wonderlands. Vin Fast, where a state-of-the-art factory will provide mobility for a nation. Vin Smart, where innovations for daily living are